Good evening and welcome to the pinning ceremony for the December 2025 Accelerated Bachelor's of Science in Nursing. I am Dr. Kuchenreither, Associate Professor and Chair of the Department of Nursing. On behalf of the department and the faculty and staff, I want to welcome and express our appreciation to all of you for being here. This is a momentous occasion for the 18 students of this cohort, and we're pleased you are here to help recognize their tremendous accomplishments. We're also honored this evening to be joined by Baldwin Wallace University President Lee Fisher, and at this time I invite President Fisher to the podium to bring you university greetings.
Welcome everyone, and congratulations on this very, very important evening in the lives of some outstanding students. First, I want to say thank you to our outstanding faculty for all the work that you do. I want to thank all the parents and families for being here today, for supporting your son, daughter, friend, because what they do is truly amazing, but it takes a lot of hard work. As you know, this is the top-ranked program in Ohio. And that's because of this great faculty, but also because of the high standards that these graduates had to have the moment they entered. They represent the best of compassionate care. And that's what, in fact, Baldwin Wallace stands for too. We take care of our students the best way we possibly can. But we'll probably never reach the standards that these graduates do, because they're professionals in compassionate care, and care, I should say. So thank you again for being here tonight. I can't wait to see the pinning. I'm going to be here, and congratulations to each of you. You're uber talented. Thank you.
Thank you, President Fisher. I would like to invite Reverend C.J. Harkness, Baldwin Wallace University Director of Spiritual Life, to come forward to give the invocation.
Please join me in a spirit of prayer. Holy One, we gather this evening in thanks. We slow down to pause for a moment to celebrate those who've worked in an accelerated fashion, those who have faced constant deadlines, trips to clinical sites, struggles in classes and labs, but they've persevered. This night, we celebrate them. Bless this evening and allow us to experience it with joy as these who are prepared now to go out into the world with touch to heal come forward. Amen.
Thank you, Reverend Hopkins. I'd like to take a few minutes to tell you a little bit more about the graduates and about our program. This cohort of students represents the 17th graduating class of Baldwin Wallace Nursing Program. The men and women we recognize today have completed a rigorous course of study inclusive of classroom, laboratory, and clinical learning experiences. They've accomplished 15 months what others accomplish in 2 to 4 years. Students and faculty have enjoyed 1,500 hours together over the last 15 months. Graduates, we applaud you for your perseverance and diligence to attain the goal of completing the ABSN program. The Baldwin Wallace University Nursing Program was named the best in Ohio for the 3rd consecutive year, according to rankings released by the Nursing Schools Almanac. The 2024 list of best pre-licensure Baccalaureate of Science in Nursing programs in Ohio is based on student performance on the NCLEX licensure examination for registered nurses. Nursing Schools Almanac looks at test results from 2013 to 2023 and found that 94.8 of Baldwin Wallace graduates succeed in passing the NCLEX on the first try. No pressure. Just 8 schools on the list of 45 nursing programs have a pass rate at or above 90%. In addition, our program was recognized as the best nursing program in Ohio for 2026 by registerednursing.org. Before I conclude my remarks, I'd like to thank a few other individuals and groups of people who have been supportive of these graduates and our program. I want to thank again President Fisher, Interim Provost Linda Chase, Associate Provost Linda Henderson, and all the members of the university community. The Department of Nursing collaborates with area hospitals and health agencies for our clinical experiences. We're very appreciative to all the nurses and staff that work with our faculty and students, and we extend a thank you to the Cleveland Clinic Health System, University Health System, Southwest General Health Center, Metro Health System, Highland Springs, Hospice of the Western Reserve, and Berea City Schools. Finally, I'd like to recognize Kleist, Sound and Lighting staff, and the Root Integration Systems representative for their assistance with today's ceremony. Please give all of these individuals a round of applause. I've spoken of the motivation and diligence and perseverance of the students, which is very admirable, but I'd also like to acknowledge all of you in the audience who have stood with these graduates and supported them through this whole educational experience. So graduates, please stand and turn and applaud your parents, your spouses, children, relatives, and friends, and any significant have done it without all of you. So now I'm honored to acknowledge our full-time nursing faculty who are present on stage today. Faculty, please stand as I call your name. Dr. Jody Burden. Professor Yolanda Flannery, she's also our traditional BSN coordinator. Professor Kristen Harback. Cisco, who is also our Director of Clinical Education. Dr. Michael Shagao. Dr. Chris Seminator, who's also our Director. In addition to all our full-time faculty, we have several practicing nurses who work with us on a part-time basis as adjunct faculty members. These nurses provide clinical, laboratory, and didactic instruction. The adjunct faculty who are in attendance this evening, if there's anybody here, if you could please stand. I know a lot of them are busy, so there may be a couple. Well, again, we couldn't do it without their support. They make a huge difference in the education of our students. And so again, I'd also be remiss if I didn't mention 2 other individuals who also help and do diligently support our students, our faculty, and our program. We have 2 administrative coordinators, Mrs. Ashlyn Brescher, who is not with us today. She's in Disney with her family, and Mrs. Lisa Naples, and she's over here.
I'd once again like to congratulate all of our graduates today and also share with you how fortunate we are to have our guest speaker today. Dr. Julia Gorecki obtained a doctorate in bioethics. I'm very fortunate to say that she is my colleague and friend, and I have worked under her direction. With her background in ethics, she has been an advocate for nurses at the bedside, an advocate for nurses in every area of hospital work. We were talking prior to our presentation here today, And she has been in nursing leadership since the 1990s, but we're not doing any math at this time. And I also recognize that many of our graduates may not have been born at that time. So she has lots of experience. She is the Vice President and Chief Nursing Officer of Cleveland Clinic Fairview Hospital. She is a former Associate Chief Nursing Officer of Cleveland Clinic Akron General. Within those roles, she has expanded and developed leaders to not only lead nurses, but lead in an ethical manner to support the staff in every area. Because we recognize that the work that nurses do it's just not working with your hands. So much of it is a mental journey as well. And she has been very prolific in helping the Cleveland Clinic system expand their ethics program, and she's provided education for that system-wide program. She's had various leadership positions at Metro Health, where she has performed quality improvement, patient safety, and then again, I can say that we worked together in that role as well, and I learned so much from her during that role, and things that I have even brought forward to my work today that I'm very fortunate to have worked under her. Her background in nursing involves critical care. Most of her programming and education and work experience as a nurse has been in critical care, and she's also worked in critical transport, emergency trauma nursing, nursing education at the Cleveland Clinic, where we have worked together. She's developed education ethics committees within the clinic and has a specialty also in infection prevention. So please join me in welcoming our guest speaker, Dr. Julia Gorecki.
So I'm going to squeak my way through this. I apologize for my voice. That was amazing. And before we started, I said, excuse me, that really I just am a nurse. And I should say I'm not just a nurse, I am a nurse. And I spent years of working in and out of different roles that I've had, and I'm going to speak to you tonight. I'm going to try to get through my time, and I'll actually try to not go over either, because I tend to be a talker, which is probably why I have no voice. So it's really an honor to be with you this evening, and congratulations to every one of you. I think you deserve another applause. Your success in completing your education. It's amazing. You did it in a short period of time. You made the decision to come into nursing after doing something prior to this. So we're so glad, so blessed that you're in the profession. You're joining a profession that's deeply rooted in compassion. I heard that word earlier. Respect, and you hear this again throughout my words, is respect for inherent dignity, worth, and unique attributes to every person. These guiding principles, they're stated in our Code of Ethics for Nurses, and I'm sure you've read them or you've heard about them or learned about them over the last 18 months, have been woven through your nursing education, and they're essential to the general practice of our profession. When Dr. Kuthenreither invited me to speak to you tonight, it followed a visit during which I came and I talked to some of you to try to recruit you to my hospital. So, I mean, that was a selfish statement there. But anyways, as I learned about the program, Chris and Diane both, took me through some of the learnings that you get in your sim lab, and I became a fan of your program really quick. I gained the experience, I gained from that experience the appreciation for the strength of your program, built on evidence-based educational principles and a strong focus on scientific foundation. And I believe that is the number one reason why you are the number one program, and you're so lucky to have gone to this program. It is going to support you. I'm going to talk a little bit about the groundwork that it's laid for your foundation in nursing practice. So as a true supporter of your program, I'm obviously honored to be here, genuinely delighted to have the opportunity to come to the pinning ceremony. As this event marks an important milestone, I'm pleased to be part of this celebration for you. This evening, I'm going to focus on three things that I really believe are relevant as you step into your nursing careers. Your first year of practice, the dichotomy, or kind of like things that are opposite or opportunities, and then your future in nursing. By sharing my own experiences and reflections on these topics, my hope is to offer you both encouragement and valuable insights as you begin your professional journey. I vividly remember, and there's not a lot you remember, you've heard I've been on this earth spinning around for a little bit. I vividly remember my initial months as a new nurse, like they were yesterday. At the time, I shared a preceptor, because even at that time, there weren't a lot of experienced nurses to train us. Our unit had high turnover. So I shared a preceptor with another one of my colleagues. The three of us formed a really strong bond and a strong friendship. Our preceptor was an excellent teacher who later became a clinical nurse specialist, and I was really fortunate to have the support of colleagues. I'm going to talk a little bit about that throughout the night. I found myself relying on them, and then when we shifted and I was no longer with them, I had to find my people. I had to find experienced nurses to answer the questions I had. And this reminded me of the importance of finding those people that will support you, that'll have your back. Asking for help is a strength, remember that. And it's strong teamwork that benefits not only the nurse, but also our patients that get the best care. So I have some insights. So when I was asked to do this, I had the opportunity to spend time with our Shared Governance Council, which are bedside nurses from every area in our hospital. And I asked them the question, what would you say to graduating nurses today? So I have woven some of their insights throughout this career to give it the, and I had to look it up, is in real life experience, the IRL experience, prioritize, and so some of those are going to be peppered in here. And first of all, the one I already mentioned is never hesitate to ask questions. Prioritize self-care. I'm going to spend some time talking about that because it's super important. And then some of the early stages of practice. By sharing their wisdom, I hope to provide you with physical or practical strategies and encouragement that will serve you as you transition into your roles. Their first message was simple but powerful. You're never alone. There is always someone to support you. I encourage you to find your go-to person. I shared with you mine. You'll find that person pretty quickly. That person that you connect with. That person, you may already know them if you're already working in the unit that you're going to be becoming a nurse in. If your hospital offers a mentor program, sign up for it. Find somebody. Your preceptor is going to be chosen for you. Somebody who's going to take you along the orientation process. You choose your mentors. Who they will guide and support you, and make sure you schedule time to talk with them on a regular basis. It'll be really important. As you embark on your nursing career, it's important to recognize that you already have a strong foundation for nursing. Your faculty and those people that were at the bedside with you educating really built that foundation. The knowledge, the skills you gain throughout your education are that bedrock upon which you continue to build. With each new experience, your confidence and abilities will grow stronger. You will undoubtedly encounter a range of situations in your practice, perhaps caring for patients with unfamiliar diagnosis, or administering meds you've never heard of, that you've not encountered. In these moments, it's essential to use your resources. Seek out answers to your expertise. Personally, I have found that the process of actively looking up helps me remember things. Perhaps it's because my father, who was a school teacher, would often respond to my questions, go look it up. So it became a habit for me to that course towards independent learning. But consider how you best absorb new information. How did that help you in your years in school? How that'll serve you well as a nurse. There are many avenues for learning, and it's really at your fingertips right now, whether you do it through research, mentorship, hands-on experience, or a combination of all of them. Discover what works for you. And remember, the journey of nursing is ongoing. I smiled as I saw the lanterns as I walked in. It reminds me of Florence Nightingale. I have her in here. I've become a huge fan of hers over the course of my getting my degree in bioethics. And she says, let us never consider ourselves finished nurses. We must be learning all of our lives. And that is still so true today. Another valuable suggestion from the clinical nurse colleagues that I reached out to help me write these words was, find your people. One or two members, I mentioned that, who you're going to connect with. Develop relationships with all of your colleagues, not just the nurses, but also the aides that support you, the physicians, and the other members of the team that you'll be working with. Your support system will vary from day to day, and the nursing leadership, and it will vary from day to day, but always know nursing leadership's also always there available. Learn what your chain of command is. You might need it. Use it when you're not getting the answers or something doesn't feel right. Go up that chain of command. Trust your instincts and seek guidance when you need it. Building a strong support network is essential as you navigate your first years in nursing. Connecting with mentors, experienced colleagues, fellow new nurses, or classmates. Maybe the person sitting next to you has been your rock throughout the last several years. Stay in touch with them. I still meet with the nurses that I graduated with, and we went in different paths and had different successes, but we still go back to those early memories of going through nursing school. We went through the same thing together. Reaching out to those classmates or those novice nurses that you're going to be alongside with are likely experiencing the same thing, and I have found that validation can be really powerful. Sharing experience and learning from others not only boosts your confidence, but fosters a collaborative and positive work environment. So a little more advice for my nurse colleagues at the bedside, and I already mentioned this once, is ask questions. Ask all your questions. I had an opportunity to be at a recent Novice Nurse Council meeting, so all nurses that had been working with us for about a year or less, and one new graduate nurse hesitantly bringing up a simple challenge. Who knew how to get ice into those white ice packs? And everybody laughed, and nobody else really supported at first because they were all like, okay, am I gonna sound stupid? But then they all started to chime in, I know, right? So trying to open up those cloth packs, and then they come with that little hoogie thing that you have to put over top of it to close. And then one actually admitted that she says, well, I didn't know that you could refill them. I was throwing them away every time I needed a new one. So in my head, I'm thinking, well, this is an expense opportunity that we can save a little bit of money, right? But I didn't say that out loud because they were bearing their souls about the ice packs. So don't forget to ask the questions. No question is too stupid, and that's what all of my colleagues told me. So I'm going to read another quote from the Code of Ethics and moving into shifting to caring for yourself, which I want you to take away that message. And the Provision 5 states, and I'm going to read it, moral duty to ourself as a person, having inherent dignity and worth. Those words again, dignity and worth, including an expectation of a safe workplace that fosters flourishing authenticity of self at work and self-respect through integrity and professional competency. This carries a lot of weight. I'm really going to focus on self-care. Self-care is a crucial aspect as you begin your nursing career. Dr. Kugenreither has a quote in her signature that I was looking for the time of this last night, or when I was writing this a couple days ago. And it's from Art Williams, and it says, I'm not telling you it's going to be easy, I'm telling you it's going to be worth it. How many of you got an email from her and noticed that? So this sentiment really captures our profession, which is I'm pretty sure why she has it, and the impact we have on people's lives. There will be days when patients' needs demand much of your time. Your primary commitment is to advocate and support your patients, and it requires courage and hard work. When you receive positive feedback, and you're going to get a lot of positive feedback from your patients, sometimes it's immediate. You reposition them and they become comfortable. A physician listens to listens and implements your recommendation, big success there. A patient improves under your care. This provides that positive feedback. It's that intrinsic reward. It's going to be worth it, part of that quote. When you're having a hard day, go back to those moments and remember the why. Why did you choose to make a shift into nursing? We all have reasons why we chose the profession, and it can help ground us when it's difficult. I'm telling you, on those days, when you get I'm telling you it's not going to be easy part. So remember to take time to recharge throughout your workday. Finding a moment, and I'm going to say this word twice, uninterrupted. Find an uninterrupted moment to take a break, which means leaving the unit, closing the door to the break room, just to take a breath, have a cup of coffee, have a little something to eat. 12-hour shifts are long, and taking an opportunity to refresh midway will help support you. We're really not good at this. Unfortunately, many nursing units struggle to consistently provide nurses with uninterrupted breaks. I recognize the challenge, and I've encouraged my teams to go back and collaborate. We have some that do a great job. Figure out how to make that happen. And now I'm gonna shift from the workplace to outside of work, because there is outside of work, and you have to remember to balance professional responsibilities with personal commitments. I've ebbed and flowed with this throughout my career. It can sometimes be easy to forgo those activities. You become lots of excuses for not going to the gym or fitting in that run or spending time with the people that are important to you. But it's important to prioritize those commitments too, and honor the time and set time aside for yourself. Maintaining relationships outside of work is essential for a healthy work-life balance. And consider making plans to go to lunch and keep those plans. Don't find a reason not to. And actually taking a walk or attending a theater or a sports game, whatever's important to you, or simply enjoying music. I have a habit when I've had a bad day is getting into the car and turning up, and I love Spotify now because I used to have to search or find a tape, that's the old days, or a CD and pop it in, but now I can just tell Spotify to play what I want, turn it up loud and sing along. What's your go-to song? Find it and play it often. I'm stuck in the 70s, songs of my youth. I sing along to just about any Styx song, a Chicago song, or a Jersey song. Find that music for you. Engaging in activities that bring you joy and connection can help you recharge and refill your cup. So another thing is to find some personal rituals that help you. I run outdoors on the weekends. It clears my mind. It's my inexpensive therapist. And during solo runs, I've learned to become mindful, because usually I'd go out and the chatter in my head would try to solve problems, and I'd quick take my phone out so that I could, copy that thing that I wanted to do next. So I leave my phone at home, and I actually, when I'm running solo, I create haiku poems. A little bit of a nerd, I know, but those have 5 syllables, and it's really always about what's in front of me, what I'm seeing in front of me, and it helps ground me. So find those rituals that help you with your well-being. And then other ways to unwind: physical care. I like to read fantasy, romance, or historical fiction, and I am going to say out loud, this is one of my favorite times of year to watch cheesy Hallmark movies. So identify what that looks like for you and embrace it. And now I'm going to talk a little bit about finding balance. Throughout your journey, you'll likely experience moments that contrast within the profession. During difficult days in the emergency department, I found comfort to take a short break and enjoy a bag of Campbell's dichotomy. I don't know if they make it anymore, but it's that sweet and salty stuff. And it reminds me, and I actually thought about it, it serves as a reminder that dichotomy is present in our profession. We have stress, satisfaction. We have challenge with reward, and it often exists side by side. As my career advanced, I began to make it a point to remain open to new opportunities, rarely declining invitations to participate in new projects. One pivotal moment came when I was asked to lead a unit in the implementation of shared governance, brand new concept. Nobody had ever heard of it. It was in the 1990s, so you guys are starting to do the math. You can figure out how old I am. Music in the 70s, had opportunities in the 90s. I'd already been an experienced nurse. And I accepted it, and knew I was recruited to my first job because they wanted somebody who had experience with shared governance. As I approach embracing new challenges, I always learn to say yes to all opportunities. And there are leaders that I've heard from who say, always say yes. But what that happened to me with always saying yes is I found myself guiding towards what other people's plans were for me, and I had to stop and take a step back. And I did that really recently in the last decade. I started to develop, as Diane mentioned, strategies to help nurses deepen the understanding of clinical ethics. I was invited to be co-chair of our hospital ethics committee, which had always been a physician, at least in that organization. So I was really proud to bring nursing forward. And then I just reflecting on Florence's timeless wisdom, learning all our lives, I made that decision to go back to school after being out of academia for over 25 years. I was a little hesitant to do the bioethics because the doctorate of nurse practice is really what most leaders strive towards. But I was so passionate about bioethics, I wanted to have the language to not only support patients, but the nurses at the bedside. I made the decision to do it. And my leader now actually embraced the fact that, and before I had reached the point of becoming the chief nursing officer for the Cleveland Clinic, was really appreciated the diversity that education brought. So do what you're passionate about. I was committed to this path of education, and I figured I'd figure it out as I went along. So now I'm going to shift away from me onto you. And as you look ahead, to the future of nursing, it's important to recognize that growth and development are ongoing processes. One last piece of advice from my clinical nurse colleagues is they emphasize the importance of being patient with yourself, especially in the early years of your career. While your first year may present challenges and uncertainty, confidence, and these are their words, confidence and competence are known to blossom by your second year of professional practice. Trust that this progression is natural and you're not alone in your journey. Back to that, you are not alone. The solid foundation established by your nursing education program has equipped you with the essential tools needed for success. Over time, you're going to take ownership and authority over your nursing practice, making decisions that reflect your knowledge and values. Crucial to continue to reflect on your why, what inspired you to enter the profession, as it will guide you. As nurses, you are uniquely positioned to advance the field of healthcare through the application of knowledge, adherence to professional standards, and participation in the creation of policies that address nursing, health, and social concerns. Through this process, you will discover your voice, mine will come back soon, embrace your power, and build the confidence necessary to shape the future of nursing. Your dedication and growth provide hope and inspiration for the continued advancement of the profession. Lead with curiosity, lead with kindness, and lead with compassion. My best to all of you, and congratulations, and thank you.
Thank you, Julia. We appreciate you sharing your advice for our graduating seniors. Dr. Arnold Gold was a pediatric neurologist at Columbia University College of Physicians and Surgeons. In 1988, along with his wife and other colleagues at Columbia, he began the Arnold P. Gold Foundation. At its inception, the goal of the foundation was to nurture and preserve the tradition of the caring physician. Dr. Gold felt that this was needed as he witnessed a shift in the focus of medicine from caring for the whole person to an over-reliance on technology. He felt that students were scientifically proficient and technically well-trained, but often demonstrated a lack of caring and compassion. The Arnold P. Gold Foundation believes humanism in healthcare is characterized by a respectful and compassionate relationship between members of the healthcare team and their patients. It reflects attitudes and behaviors that are sensitive to the values and the cultural and ethnic backgrounds of others. The humanistic healthcare professional demonstrates the following attributes: integrity, excellence and clinical expertise, collaboration and compassion, altruism, respect and resilience, empathy, and service. In 1993, the White Coat Ceremony welcoming students to the healthcare profession was born out of Dr. Gold's efforts so that the commitment to this ideal was not at the end of their training, but ever present throughout the process. In 2014, the Arnold P. Gold Foundation partnered with the American Association of Colleges of Nursing to bring the White Coat Ceremony to nursing schools. It took them long enough, right? Each of you participated in the White Coat Ceremony just over a little year ago. You created your oath of compassionate care to guide you as you learn to become nurses, to help you focus on the nurses that you wanted to become, and to embrace the future that you envision nursing to be. Now that you are at the end of your journey to become a nurse, you take that oath with you as you impact your patients, colleagues, and healthcare systems around the country. I would like for Will Ehrbar and Emma Morris to please come to the podium to lead your peers in the Baldwin Wallace University Nursing Class of 2025 Oath of Compassionate Care. And students, if you can please stand and face the audience as you recite your oath.
Oath of Compassionate Care. As nurses, we recognize nursing as an art and as a science. Nursing continually evolves to meet the needs of those we serve and we pledge. to utilize all resources and collaborate to provide the most holistic care, to move the nursing profession further in safety and patient care. With love, empathy, and compassion, we pledge to care for our patients with the utmost diligence. We will apply best practices to provide individualized care that respects each person's unique journey. Together we vow to be lifelong learners, advance our skills, deepen our knowledge, and serve our patients and communities with excellence. As we move forward, we commit to building strong connections within our cohort, supporting each other in our growth and dedication to nursing. Together, we'll encourage one another to excel, ensuring we bring our best to our patients and our profession.
Thank you, graduates. That was awesome. You did a good job. So I'm going to talk a little about the Daisy Award. In November of 1999, 33-year-old Patrick Barnes was hospitalized, and he died from complications of idiopathic thrombocytopenic purpura, ITP is an easier way to say that. An autoimmune disease where the body mistakenly attacks its own platelets. During Patrick's hospitalization, the Barnes family expected great health care from the hospital, but what they found were nurses that went beyond their job expectations as caregivers. They really shared compassion, love, and hope, even in the darkest of times. As a result, Patrick's wife Tina, mother Bonnie, and father Mark created the DAISY Foundation. The acronym DAISY stands for Diseases Attacking the Immune System. The award is to honor nurses, nursing students, and nursing faculty for the extraordinary care that they provide. The Department of Nursing at Baldwin Wallace is thrilled to have received several nominations for our nursing students. As I call the nominees, would you please come up to the stage and be acknowledged for your contribution to the nursing program and clinical excellence. Will Airbar. So one of these nominees has been selected to receive the Student DAISY Award. I just want to tell you a little bit about our recipient. This student is consistently respectful, kind, and empathetic. Their calming presence builds trust, and they go above and beyond to advocate for their patients. This student demonstrated exceptional clinical judgment and advocacy by promptly recognizing stroke-like symptoms in a non-English speaking patient and initiating a rapid response. They remained at the patient's bedside throughout the brain attack code, supported the family, and communicated confidently with the care team. Their attentiveness, empathy, and professionalism make them an outstanding student nurse and an asset to the nursing field. This student truly exemplifies what it means to be an outstanding student nurse. They are kind, helpful, and attentively ready to lend a hand and support their patients. Their quick thinking even led to catching stroke-like symptoms before anyone else, a testament to their clinical awareness and dedication. This student is not just a great nurse in the making, they are a true asset to the future of nursing. And the winner of the DAISY Award is There we go. There she is. Congratulations to all the students.
Congratulations again to all of you. Great work. I'm sorry to make some of you sit and now stand and come back up, but now it's our pleasure to award the prestigious faculty award. So I'd like to welcome a few of the students back up, Will and Megan and Emma, to introduce the faculty award. And the students will share some of the comments that they
So first, we're going to read some of the comments, and this is about our professor from the students. This faculty member uses evidence-based practice in teaching and ethical reasoning. They care about students and are always available to help. They are understanding, caring, and welcoming. This faculty member wants students to grow and succeed in healthcare.
This faculty has been very helpful during my nursing studies. They were always available to explain difficult topics or just listen when I faced personal challenges. Their enthusiasm for teaching shows in every class and conversation.
This faculty enjoys teaching nursing and has a special way of giving lectures. They use many real-life examples related to the topics. Their teaching makes the information easier to understand.
They often speak up for people with disabilities and those in the underserved communities. Her stories from her nursing work show what caring for others really means.
The recipient of the Faculty Daisy Award is Dr. Burden.
I'm going to talk to you about PIN. So in a few moments, our students will come forward to receive their nursing pin. The tradition of the nursing pin and the ceremonial pinning we know today originated in the 1860s at the Nightingale School of Nursing in the St. Thomas Hospital of London. Florence Nightingale, regarded as the founder of modern nursing, chose to honor her most outstanding graduate nurses by presenting each of them with a medal for excellence. The first American School of Nursing to present a pin to its graduates was the Bellevue Hospital School of Nursing in New York City in 1880. The design of the Baldwin Wallace University nursing pin reflects the colors of the university. The lamp in the foreground symbolizes nursing care, while the open book represents scholarship. The Latin motto surrounding the symbols proclaims the values embodied by a Baldwin Wallace University nurse in not for ourselves, but for others.
Hold my myself together. Thank you again, guys. Sorry. Okay. In addition to receiving a pin this evening, the graduates will also receive a symbolic lamp during our ceremony. I'm going to share with you just a little bit of history on that. Florence Nightingale was born in Florence, Italy on May 12, 1820, and died August 13, 1910. Many modern nursing principles and techniques can be attributed to her. During the Crimean War, she took 38 women to Turkey to nurse sick and wounded British soldiers. The British government had not previously permitted women to do this. On her rounds in the wards, Nightingale carried a lantern to light her way and to examine the wounded soldiers. She soon became known as the Lady with the Lamp. As a tribute to her selfless duty and dedication, the lamp icon has become symbolic of nursing, exemplifying the light and learning and knowledge and the care and devotion that nurses embody when administering to the sick and injured. Students will be given a lamp this evening to honor the memory and dedication of Nurse Nightingale, as well as the ideals for which she stood. And now I'd like to introduce Dr. Schlegel to come and present the students.
Good evening. When I call your name, please step forward. Rachel Durant. Rachel's first degree is in chemistry from California State University, San Bernardino. Rachel is looking forward to working in an intensive care unit. To my family, your support has been my backbone. Your wisdom has guided my path. Your morals have grounded my character. Your hard work has taught me the value of perseverance. Your toughness has inspired my courage. Your compassion has filled me with empathy. And your love has shown me what it means to be loved unconditionally. Thank you for giving me the foundation to build my life upon. For your endless support, your sacrifices, and your unwavering belief in me, I love you all dearly. William Erbard. William's first degree is in exercise science from John Carroll University. William has accepted a position with University Hospitals at main campus in the Cardiac Intensive Care Unit. William was the president of the National Student Nurses Association, and he says, I would like to thank my family for all their support, especially my mom for all of her support and guidance. I would also like to thank Sam Mashka for helping me through the program. Nora Faraj. Nora's first degree is in health sciences and biology from Cleveland State University. Nora has accepted a position with Cleveland Clinic in the plastic surgery operating room. She was a member of the National Student Nurses Association, and she says thank you to all who supported me through nursing school, my family, friends, professors, and all my amazing clinical instructors. Most of all, I want to thank my parents. My dad has been one of my biggest supporters every step of the way. My mom, a nurse herself, was not only an inspiration, but the best example of everything a nurse should be. I can only hope to live up to half of that. I owe this all to them. Samantha Garcia. Samantha's first degree is in biochemistry from the University of California, Riverside. Samantha is looking forward to working in a medical surgical unit and becoming certified in wound, ostomy, and continence nursing. She says, I would like to thank my family for their love, support, and patience. I'm grateful that I have such an amazing family to always rely on and to be loved by them. Jillian Gillespie. Jillian's first degree is in biology from Baldwin, Wallace University. Jillian is hoping to secure a position in the OR with Cleveland Clinic main campus. She says, I'm extremely grateful to my family and friends for their love, encouragement, and support throughout the nursing journey. I'd especially like to thank my parents for always believing in me, supporting me, and encouraging me to achieve my goals. Their love, guidance, and sacrifices made this accomplishment possible. Cynthia Enriquez. Cynthia's first degree is in kinesiology from California State University of Fullerton. Cynthia is looking forward to working in an emergency department. I'd like to thank my parents and siblings for their constant love and encouragement, especially September for being my strongest support throughout this journey. Brian Kingsmore. Brian's first degree is in marketing from Miami University. Brian has accepted a position with the University Hospitals Parma in the Medical Surgical Telemetry Unit. Brian is interested in working with cardiac patients. He states, many thanks to my family for their encouragement and support in my pivot to healthcare and nursing. I'd like to thank my 17 classmates from this cohort, who helped me in many ways. I wanted to recognize my niece, Heather Hoffa, who also decided on making a career change to nursing, and started nursing school in August at Ivy Tech Community College in South Bend. Megan Kanapka. Megan's first degree is in health sciences from Cleveland State University. Megan has accepted a position with Cleveland Clinic at main campus in the cardiovascular intensive care unit. She's interested in pursuing nurse anesthesia in the future. Megan was a member of the National Student Nurses Association, and she states, I want to give a huge thank you to my family and friends for supporting me through this entire thing. I appreciate you all so much. Samuel Matchkin. Samuel's first degree is in health sciences from Gettysburg College. Samuel has accepted a position at Cleveland Clinic at main campus on Unit Q5 of the Cardiovascular Intensive Care Unit. Samuel was the Vice President of the National Student Nurses Association, and he states, I want to thank Will Airborne, Tess, my friends and family, and my therapist for helping me get through this. Emma Morris. Emma's first degree is in biology with a minor in chemistry from the University of Toledo in 2019. Emma has accepted a position with Cleveland Clinic at Akron General in the Medical Surgical Telemetry Unit. While studying at Baldwin, Wallace, Emma has worked as nurse technician at Akron General. Emma was the treasurer of the National Student Nurses Association as well. She states, I would like to thank my family, including my mom, sisters, and Jacob. A special shout out to my sister Hannah, who is a NICU nurse at Akron Children's. And a shout out to the libraries and coffee shops for all of the study sessions. Maria Nara. Maria's first degree is in health sciences from Cleveland State University. Maria has accepted a job with a pediatric intensive care unit. She states, incredibly grateful to my family and friends for all their support and guidance through this program. Thank you for always encouraging me and being there for me. Couldn't have done it without you. Kaizen Uden. Kaizen's first degree is in health and exercise science with a concentration in sports medicine from Colorado State University. Kaizen has accepted a position in cardiovascular intensive care unit at Cleveland Clinic main campus. She is involved as a NSNA member and a figure skating instructor at Hamilton Ice area. She states, thank you to my family. I'd like to recognize my mom, Parama, for being a nurse for 25 years, and to my dad, who has encouraged me to continue learning and furthering my education. Jonathan Phillips. Jonathan's first degree is in neuroscience from Baldwin, Wallace University. Jonathan has accepted a position with Cleveland Clinic in the neurocritical intensive care unit. Ruth Postlethwaite. Ruth's first degree is in wildlife and fisheries resources from West Virginia University. After graduation, Ruth plans to return to Astoria, Oregon, where she and her husband will welcome their first child. Ruth would then like to begin her RN career in either labor and delivery or an intensive care unit. While studying at Baldwin Wallace, Ruth worked as a nurse intern at Metro Health's Burn Intensive Care Unit. She would like to thank her mother, Ann Jankowski, for her unconditional love and support. Isabella Stein. Isabella's first degree is in business management and economics from Kent State University. Isabella has accepted a position with Akron Children's Hospital in the pediatric intensive care unit. She states Isabella was a member of the National Student Nurses Association. Jennifer Totsky. Jennifer's first degree is in Bachelor of Science from the University of Cincinnati. Jennifer has accepted a position with Cleveland Clinic Children's at main campus in the pediatric cardiac intensive care unit. As a first-generation college student and now a future healthcare professional, I want to express my deepest gratitude to my family, friends, classmates, and professors. Thank you all for your support, your time, and patience through this journey. I wouldn't be up here without you. first degree is in Allied Health from Baldwin, Wallace University. Abigail has accepted a position with Cleveland Clinic at main campus in the cardiovascular intensive care unit. She states, I want to thank my family, specifically my mom, who is a nurse. I hope to one day be able to meet her level of skill and compassion. Abigail Sansa. Abby's first degree is in biology from Baldwin Wallace University. Abby has accepted a position with University Hospitals at the Cleveland Medical Center in the emergency department. She states, I would like to thank my friends and family for their continued support throughout the program.
Congratulations. I think as each one of your slides came up, a few things come to mind. First, about how impressive your backgrounds are. Secondly, about how those backgrounds contributed to this program. And then lastly, about all the great opportunities so many of you already have. On this special night, though, our former students want to recognize those nurses in their lives who have inspired them to achieve all of this. For those of you that came in that received a white ribbon, if you could please stand. If we could all acknowledge these nurses in our students' lives who have helped. Remain standing, and in your program towards the back is the Nightingale Pledge. If you could all recite that with me. I solemnly pledge myself before God and in the presence of this assembly to pass my life in purity and to practice my profession faithfully. I will abstain from whatever is deleterious and mischievous and will not take or knowingly administer any harmful drug. I will do all in my power to maintain and elevate the standards of my profession and will hold in confidence all personal matters committed to my keeping and all family affairs coming to my knowledge in the practice of my calling. With loyalty will I endeavor to aid physicians in their work and devote myself to the welfare of those committed to my care. Thank you. I now want to invite Reverend Harkness back up for the benediction.
That's right. Please join me again in a spirit of prayer. We're grateful for celebration. We're grateful for family. We're grateful for these hands. Let not only their hands, but their very presence go into hospitals, into clinics, go into universities, go even into homes, and share compassion and love in ways that is healing even beyond medicine. May they be strengthened to continue to learn and to continue to grow, that we might all be blessed. Amen.
stage. And our graduates have put together a special video reflecting their time here in the last 15 months, some of their extracurricular activities and such. And they would like to share it with all of you. So, and then I'll come back up.